Reflection on the message from the World Day of Migrants and Refugees. Last January 15, 2017, the World Day of Migrants and Refugees was celebrated in our Catholic Church. Pope Francis, in his message, focuses his attention on migrant children, vulnerable and without a voice. As we all know, from this celebration comes the mandate that every Episcopal conference or continent must include in their apostolic activities prayer, reflection, and action in favor of so many Catholic migrants or not who suffer this scorching type of slavery. What does this message tell and invites us to do? This message enlightens us in which direction our journey should go. To begin with, it reminds us that God has become one of us and that in Jesus, He became a vulnerable child. On the other hand, the openness to God is vital in our daily exercise of faith, which nourishes our hope and manifests itself in the caring of the smallest and the weakest. In this journey, how can we not stop and reflect on the severe exploitation of so many children committed by the unscrupulous people and causes dreadful damages for them? Today, it is undeniable that migration phenomenon affects all continents, and it is increasingly influencing the world issue in a very dramatic and tragic way. How does this dramatic world issue become more evident? Millions of men and women, elderly and children are forced to leave their homes in the hope of finding peace and security in other lands. Pope Francis considers that infanthood has some unique and absolute conditions: the right to a safe and healthy family environment, the right and duty to receive an education in family and in school, the right to play and to engage in recreational activities. In other words, the right to be children. But how can we achieve this in the midst of such vulnerability? How to respond to this reality? In the first place, there is a need to increase consciousness that migration phenomenon is part of the salvation history, in which we have an ethical demand. You shall not oppress a stranger, for you were once strangers yourselves in the land of Egypt. Secondly, we need to assimilate that migration phenomenon is one of the signs of the times, which speaks to us of God's providential action in history, and on the other hand, requires us to build a human community towards a universal communion. Thirdly, it wants us to focus on the protection and defense of all the girls and boys, with the importance of implementing increasingly effective, efficient, and permanent cooperation in support networks and in the remarkable strengths of collegial communities that make alive the spirit of unity, prayer, and fraternity. We denounce the pain caused to minor migrants by irregular legal conditions and by the transgression of the organized crime. Thus, it is absolutely necessary to prevent the root causes of forced migration of migrant children from their countries of origin. It is vital and fundamental, the commitment of the international community to end the conflicts and violence which force these children to flee from home. Finally, in this journey, we need to walk side by side with the migrant children, that we do not get tired of living out the gospel that calls us to recognize and welcome the Lord Jesus present among the vulnerable little ones. In our Archdiocese of Mexico, we continue to pronounce this inspirational message of the Catholic Church every year. For this reason, we invite everyone this coming September 3 to 7 to participate in the different activities we organized in coordination with other institutions, so as to continue condemning the suffering caused by this new slavery and announcing the power of fraternity and Christian solidarity. From the Vatican City, Pope Francis imparts his apostolic blessing to us. May the Holy Family of Nazareth watch over the migrant children, their families, their communities, and to those who are accompanying them along the way.